What's good, Cows Gang? You already know who it is, Mr. Palmer, aka Boss Daddy, and we got to talk about this unfortunate situation right here. Now, let's take a look at Rick Chow. For those who don't know who he is, Rick Chow is a store owner, and he was charged in 2023 with the murder of Cyrus Carmack Belton, 14-year-old, who went into Chow's store. It was a former convenience store because I don't think he got it no more. He went up in there and he was accused of stealing 4 bottles of water, right?
Oh no!
They chased him down, him and his son, and he gunned him down.
Huh?
And a Richland County jury acquitted this former convenience store owner, Rick Chow. And the tripped out part is it only took nearly 9 hours to deliberate in this case. And now Black Americans are out here boycotting, protesting, they talking about doing a boycott going to Asian businesses, which that's something they should have been did a long time ago, we as a collective, because Black women get their ass whooped or accused of stealing out of nail salons and nail shops and beauty supply stores like that. And this is long overdue. This is definitely an unfortunate situation. Now, Chow, 58 years old, shot Carmack Belton around 8 p.m. on a Sunday, a Memorial Day, 2023, after he, his wife, his son suspected the teen of stealing 4 bottles from the store. Now, the video came out and it showed that he took the 4 bottles out of the refrigerator, but then he put them all back. And when he was trying to leave, the wife came up to him. He was saying, "Hey, I don't have nothing," So then he leave out the store, and then the father, son, and the wife chased behind him. But I believe the wife stopped. But the rest, they chased him. They chased him far off, and he shot.
What the?
Now, the jurors began deliberating around 12:15 p.m. Monday, and twice returned with notes and stuff like that. The defense was arguing that Chow was trying to protect his son, Andy, but let's talk about Andy right quick, because Andy actually admitted on the stand that he was wrong.
You were that certain that he had stolen, were you not?
I believed it, and when he ran, that's when I really believed that he had stolen something.
And you were dead wrong, weren't you?
I did learn that afterwards. Yes.
You were dead wrong, weren't you?
I was wrong.
So, Cows Gang, the son admitted they were wrong. They thought he stole. They were wrong. Now, it came out that the 14-year-old had a gun. Now, first they lied and said that he pulled out the gun and, Rick Chow protecting his son, but we found out that was a lie. And as you see, we found out that he didn't steal the water. Now, here's the thing. Unfortunately, when it comes to like this, it's about who they like and don't like. It's not about right or wrong. I've been saying this for some years now, that when you look at these different situations and stories, man, woman, Black, white, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, and something happens, it's not about right or wrong. And our society is about who they like and don't like.
Bruh.
If they don't like Black people, then a Black can't be a victim. He had to do something. It's his fault. He looks suspicious. He got a criminal record. He got a gun in his pocket. But when it's the other way around,
Truth is what it is.
it's not right. Hypocrisy and all. So unfortunately, in this situation, this young man do not get justice. And Chow gets off and he will not do time in jail. Another thing is, and I want to talk about this, the mom came out speaking about this unfortunate situation. And definitely want to talk about this.
Being here is very difficult. However, I am going to be Cyrus strong because my son was strong. My son was smart, he was loving, he was kind. I cannot believe that from the time he stepped into that store, as we all saw, he was racially profiled. They followed him around. He was shopping. He took 4 waters, he put them back. He even showed them by shaking his hoodie that he took nothing. And he walked out of the store. He didn't argue with them. He didn't have any confrontation. He didn't curse them. He just walked out. He was respectful. And yet 2 grown people chased him. He fell and they shot him. He shot him dead, like as if he was a dog. And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty.
Now, here's the thing about that. The unfortunate part is 14-year-old with a gun. In my opinion, I really believe that's what have everybody who was against him and for the store owner, the fact that he had a gun. But I will say this, all these same motherfuckers lied, talking about he pulled out a gun. They said he was trying to shoot the son. They said he stole the water. You know, I told you, it's about who they like and don't like. But unfortunately, hearing a 14-year-old with a gun, and of course, people, first thing they're going to say, thug, gangbanger, you know, a menace to society. And I really believe that them jurors looked at it like, but he had the gun. Even though we saw that he did not really steal the water. The owner and the son admitted that, you know, we thought he stole, you know, because, you know, they think all black people steal anyway. Even though we know he didn't steal, we know that he didn't pull out the gun. People in the comments still saying that, well, he had a gun. Anything to justify the Let's continue.
He was in a runner's stance. It was shown by the pathologist, and they said he was not guilty. It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine because my murderer of my son was set free. And it's not fair and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired. I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. This has to stop today.
And yes, of course it was racially motivated because they looked at him, oh, another young girl, another trying to steal. 100%. This dude Chow got history of
truth is what it is.
Accusing people of stealing. Shot somebody in the leg, shot at somebody in the car, fighting with some teens like that. Yeah. So yes, definitely. But at the same time, got his business in the black community.
And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair. And if that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And it's just showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not. My son loved everybody. He would tell me like, oh, Mom, you're being judgmental. You shouldn't do that. That's against God. And the devil shot him dead, and he laid right there. And we got no justice from South Carolina. And I think it is disgusting, and I don't even know why. I have no words. But every day I will not be able to speak to my son, hear his voice change, see him grow, go to prom. He will never get married. I would never hold my grandchildren, nothing. But Chow is able to go home with his lion son, Andy Chow, and they're able to have dinner with the wife, Alice, who all three of them came out that store and they chased my baby. And I think the entire family should be held accountable because it was racially profiled. And I do not think that it is right, and they all should be punished. And I don't know what laws that we need to create to help our people, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. Cyrus should not be gone. None of our children should be gone from the acts of racism, from profiling, from any of that. He should be here. And until the world treats us like we are human beings, I mean, come on. Y'all hire us. Y'all want us around. You like our culture. You want to listen to the music. You want to wear our clothes. You want to do all of that stuff. But when it comes to protecting us and when it comes to looking at our children, you look at us as if we are animals, and we are not. I am a college-educated woman. I hold a master's degree in information technology management.
Now, everything she just said right there was truth. Now, she says she's college educated, got a master's degree, and I want you to understand that they don't give a your education. They don't give a about your degrees. They don't give a about your status.
My son was not a thug. He was a 14-year-old boy who was trying to find his way. And for any person that acts like when they were 14, 15, 16, 17, that they did not do nothing wrong, that they did not smoke and drink and have sex and do whatever that they were not supposed to do by their parents, it is a lie. And it is judgmental, and I refuse to allow any of you to sit up there and make it seem like we were bad parents, because we were not. All of our children make mistakes, but I don't see anybody saying, oh, well, you know what? My kid did X, Y, and Z. My kid did X, Y, and Z. No, they're coming onto my page and try to demonize my child, and I will not have it. And it stops today. Keep your opinions to yourself. And until you are in my shoes and you have to bury a child, I don't want to hear nothing from you.
So you heard it from Cyrus' mom, and shout out to her for being able to still, speak her piece due to this unfortunate situation. But let's make it clear, when it's all said and done, you could say, well, kids do bad things. No one's perfect. Kids have sex, smoke weed, and everything else. But one thing about it is, unfortunately, he's 14 years old with a gun. The police been using this tactics for many years. He had a gun though. So I wasn't gonna chance my life. I want to go home to my family. Even though he didn't pull out the gun, they didn't know he had a gun till after they killed him. Oh, we got something. We got a gun? Hey man, justified homicide. This is the same thing, Chow did. Same thing. They didn't know he had the gun till after the fact. And of course, his defense attorney, and one of them was black, told him, hey, you protecting your son, he had a gun. Now, if he didn't have a gun, and then they found out he really didn't steal, yeah, he'd have been up Schitt's Creek. Yeah, they'd have got him. Pop, go to Weasel.
Pop, go to Weasel.
But unfortunately, teenager, young, black, got a gun. So now, from what I hear, the family's talking about doing a civil lawsuit, which they will probably win. That's mostly would be the outcome. They won't lock them up, but they could show about some money you know. And let me explain something to you parents out here. I want you to take heed and learn from this. You got a son or daughters out there wild now, got pistols and stuff like that. Move them out of state. Move them to the south. Move them with the grandmother, the grandfather. Move them with the uncle, auntie, because this can be your child. Wasn't one of y'all president, Democrat president? Didn't he come out with the Asian hate crime bill? Yes. A lot of y'all supported Biden because he was Democrat, and he gave out an anti-Asian hate bill. Now, we already know that Black Americans are the most hated on the planet, and we went through the worst of the worst. Still continue to go through prejudice and bullshit like this.
Truth is what it is.
Why we didn't get an anti-hate bill? He gave it to the Asians because you know why? They're more beneficial than the Black American. And this is why I don't get into the, Trump is racist and Biden or Democrats are not. They're all one of the same. They just move different. Think about that. But Cow's gang, you already know what I want to know. When it comes to this 14-year-old young man who could have lived a life and had a good life, Cyrus Carmack Belton, I got to know, is he a victim or volunteer? And I also got to know when it comes to his mother and father, I also got to know, is they a victim or volunteer?